shoulder day. Shoulder day is kind of my lighter one, you know. We've already kind of talked about it. Dumbbells, barbell, cable, front, lateral, some rear delt. I was watching one of the old Shaw strength videos, Brian Shaw, Eddie Hall, Robert Oberst, and Nick Best. There's a World's Strongest Men. If you guys have never seen them, it's pretty cool. They're really awesome feats of strength. But they used to have this show, I think it was called World's Strongest Men. It was like on the History Channel or something. But ever since they did that show together, they've done like a couple videos here and there where they get together and do gym takeovers and stuff like that. But I was watching one, I think they were in Scotland, and they were doing a competition with shoulder presses and bench press. And for the they did Smith machine shoulder presses and just, you know, see who can do the most amount of reps. And I was just killing time watching, and I was like, man, I kind of like the way that looks on the Smith machine shoulder press. So I think I might go ahead and fold some of those into my workout today. See how it goes. What else? I'm not 100% sure what all my goals are once I get the weight off. You know, I've been kind of just keeping my head down, focusing on the scale. But as it's starting to get closer and closer to, and I'm not 100% sure what my end goal is. Originally, it was 250 was going to be my happy spot, but I'm now within 35 pounds of that, and I'm thinking 250 is still going to be a little bit on the bigger side for me. I'm thinking of adjusting the goal to 225, and even then, I might try and shoot for like 215. Right now, I think the goal I'm going to put up in my head is 225 and just see how we go from there. Because I'm thinking I'll hit 250 by this summer if I can, you know, keep staying pretty consistent with everything. I don't think that should be a problem. I think I might even hit 250 before summer, but I'm thinking if I plan for summer and it happens sooner, then great. If not, it's just what it is. I believe I'm going to start trying to work on building up some endurance as well. Again, you know, the point of this was never for me to get jacked, to be a huge muscular dude. I would like to get a little bit more athletic ability back in my life, you know. So with that, you know, the strength training is definitely doing a lot, but I want to incorporate in some more like endurance cardio. You know, I was looking into the HIIT training, so not HIT, but it's HIIT. It's the same basic concept, except it is high intensity interval training. So what you do is, and you can do this with a lot of different things, but the one I'm thinking about doing is probably the stationary bike. You do like a 5-minute warm-up, then you do a 30-second, you know, pedal like you're trying to break the fucking machine pedal. Then you have a 60-second kind of recovery period, and then a 30-second you're back to trying to break the son of a bitch. And you cycle the 30 and the 60, 30 and 60, until you get 10 complete cycles out of it. So I think in theory that'd be like 15 minutes. You know, 5 minutes with the warm-up would make it 20. You know, maybe if you do another 5-minute cool down, 20, 25, something like that. So I'm thinking about mixing those in. You know, with the plans for when I lose the weight, you know, there's a lot of things that I've been thinking in the back of my head. You know, one of them, and again, this is a far off goal. You know, this is after 225, after 215. You know, even then I might want to go lower. This is after I've conditioned myself a little bit more. Somewhere in the back of my mind is the thought rolling around of possibly joining the military. And there's a lot of hurdles in the way before that ever even becomes possible. First off, I'm 29 years old. I'll be 30 this year. From what I've seen, they tend to kind of discourage as you get closer to 35. Now they say 17 to 35, you're good to join up, but you know, the other problem is going to be my tattoos. From what I've seen, the only branch that would even consider with neck tattoos would be the Army, and even then, they're the guidelines I read was like a 1 inch by 1 inch and things like that. You know, there's waivers available. Like you could, I guess you put in you put in some paperwork for them to look at your situation on like a case-by-case basis and see if they want to make an exception for you. But even that being said, you know, there's a lot of hurdles to overcome. And even before I'd even want to go down that road of applying and trying, in my mind, if that is what I end up going with, I don't want to sign paperwork until I know I'm ready to complete whatever it is they want me to be able to complete when it comes to basic training. You know, you know, I know they've got programs that are supposed to be able to help you get into shape and get prepared for it before you ship off for basic training. But for me, I want to go into it as ready as I possibly can. But I have had instances where I've done something and it ended up becoming vastly more difficult than I anticipated, and having a much more harder time than I thought I would. So because of that little bit of experience I have of underestimating the hurdles that I'm going to be approaching, really just trying to focus on, you know, I guess for the hurdle metaphor, I'm working on my vertical a little bit. You know, I'm making sure I can jump every one of them some bitches. You know, so, and again, 100% a hypothetical down the line thought that crosses my mind. You know, there's a million different things I'd like to do. You know, I've even thought about getting into training some sort of a combat sport. You know, I don't exactly live near any sort of actual fight gym or anything like that. Fighting institution. I don't know what the hell you call them. You know, like the Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, really any of that stuff. So I would have probably about an hour and a half drive, maybe one way, just to be able to go to one of these facilities, which I wouldn't exactly be opposed to, but you know, I with work and stuff like that, that would have to be something that I would have to pre-plan out quite a bit. So just, I don't know, things rolling around in my head. Honestly, I think that's one of the biggest challenges I think I'm going to face when I lose the weight is, you know, trying to keep myself from doing something not necessarily stupid, but I've always had the excuse, well, I'm too big to do this, too big to do that, so let me just focus on, you know, just what I need to do, and that's it. You know, but once I don't have that excuse anymore, then goddamn, all bets might be off. So it might sound kind of funny to say, but when I was a kid, and I can't fucking explain it to you. You know, I grew up in Northern California, you know, kind of in a country-ish town, but, you know, a good bit of my life living in the city, you know. You know, now I've lived in the country the last, like, 10 years, so I've got a little bit of experience with both, but I don't know what the hell it was. With me being a kid, I just had a massive interest / I guess borderline infatuation with two things. And again, you know, looking at me might make you question what the hell, but bull riding, like, yes, riding bulls, and the military. And I don't know, like I said, that's really weird, because I know I don't really look the type, but that's just something ever since I was a kid, I think I remember seeing the PBR, the public bull riding on TV one time, and just being like, Jesus fucking, that's the most badass shit I've ever seen in my life, do I have much experience on any sort of an animal? No. I mean, I've ridden a horse a couple times, but that's about it. So to me, the other thing I've got to kind of fight, and this is, I think for me, is going to be in a lot of aspects of my life, is now I'm starting to come to the age argument. A lot of this stuff is awesome, amazing stuff to do, but now I'm starting to get to the point where it's like, well, I would be looking at such a disadvantage, because if I really wanted to take it seriously and do a lot of this stuff, fighting, riding bulls, whatever the hell it might be, I really should have buckled down and looked at getting into this stuff years ago. I mean, they got guys that have been training since they were like 15, 16, 17 years old to fight, and now they've been doing it, damn near a decade. You start getting into your 30s, you start being seen as the old man doing a lot of this stuff, So I don't want to trade off weight for age as excuses in my mind that are available to use. I'm kind of at that point in my life where I'm tired of doing it. I'm tired of making the excuses. So it's a lot of thought that's gonna have to go into it. So I'm not committed to anything at the moment. The only thing I know that I'm committed to is getting the weight off. That's first and foremost. Nothing is going to change that. I'm 75 pounds down now, and if I can help it, I'll hopefully this time next year I'll have another 75 off. That would be best case scenario for me. I mean, I could see better case scenario. I'm able to somehow pull it off this year, but I'm thinking it's going to be about a year's time. I'll be down to the point where I'm able to perform a little bit more in an athletic capability. Build on my endurance a little bit. I'm definitely, as I've said, I've definitely noticed a lot more muscle mass in areas of my body. I've never experienced that before. I definitely, when I played sports when I was younger, maybe just didn't take it as seriously as I should have. I was able to compete. Definitely wasn't the best at anything, but I was having so much fun in the moment. I didn't really take any of it as serious as a lot of other people did at my age. So I'm trying to kind of focus that, with age comes wisdom, and I'm trying to focus that wisdom into things that I should have been doing years ago, and trying to get them, that list ticked off now. Is it too late? I mean, I would argue it's never too late, because at the end of the day, even if I'm not able to join the military, even if I'm not able to get in the ring or fucking do anything like that, at the end of the day, I'm getting healthier. It's never too late for that. The last little checkup I did, my blood pressure looks amazing. I've never, let me preface it by saying I've never really had terrible blood pressure, even as a bigger guy, which has always kind of baffled me, because whenever I go in to get my blood pressure checked, it's usually like upper 120s over like upper 80s. I think the worst I've ever seen is like 129 over like, I don't know, 88, and one time I had it and I was feeling pretty bad, and it was like 130s over like 90, and the facility was like, oh no, that's normal for somebody your size. And I was trying to explain to them, I was like, I understand what you're saying, but that's not normal for me. You know, for me, if I'm not 120s over 80s, like that's elevated, you know? So I just had a physical done probably about 2 weeks ago. It was like 123 over I think it was over 79 or something like that. And I'm not a doctor or a pharmacist. All I know is, you know, hearing and passing a million times is that the golden numbers is like 120 over 80. You know, so for me, 123 over 79, you know, I don't know shit about what the top number or the bottom number means, but that sounds pretty damn good to me. You know, being in the obese category, you know, that sounds pretty good blood pressure. You know, I'm now it's just trying to get everything else to line up, you know. So let's get in here, get this goddamn shoulder day knocked off. Hopefully I'm barely able to lift my arms. I'll tell you what, that arm day yesterday, I'm hurting, man. My triceps are still messed up pretty good. You know, I might end up having to back down on some of the weight for the shoulder exercises. A lot of like shoulder presses, barbell or dumbbell, it's gonna get some tricep activation. That's why a lot of people, when they do chest day, they do chest, shoulders and triceps, because triceps are worked and kind of folded in on both chest and shoulders. So with that being said, I'm still going to try and get a good shoulder workout in. And then the plan is, I don't know if I'll be successful or how exhausted I'm going to be, because I feel pretty tired right now. But the plan is I want to try and make today my first day with that high intensity interval training. So hopefully I can get in there, jump on that stationary bike, and at least, even if I don't get the full like 10 cycles I was talking about, if I can get a couple minutes out of it, I think that'd be good. Start somewhere, you know. I think that's just as important as getting up and doing anything. It's getting up, you know. Like we spoke before, walking in the door of the gym, hardest part, guys. Walk in the door. After that, I mean, shit, you're already there, you know. You can argue about, you know, well, you know, peak efficiency and stuff like that, but you know what I mean. Who are you gonna argue with? You know, the guy that actually showed up, or the guy that's still sitting on this couch at the house? You know. To me, I mean, I don't care if you're in there fucking, you know, fuck, I can't even think, you know, you show up just to do fucking calf raises and walk on a treadmill, 0 incline at a snail's pace. God damn it, you're here, you know, you're putting in some work. It's not up to me to judge whether or not you're putting in a lot of work or you ain't doing a damn thing. Because guess what? If you wasn't doing a damn thing, I wouldn't see you here, you know. You wouldn't be at the gym if you wasn't doing a damn thing. So don't let people shame you. You know, don't feel bad because you don't feel like you're doing enough. You know, if you're doing something, I mean, I fuck is better than nothing, you know. 2024, fellas and ladies, we ain't gonna have no resolutions for 2025. We're gonna have completion. We're gonna have continuance. We're gonna have progress. We're gonna have updates. Not fucking, well, maybe this year. Fuck that. No, this year, 2024. Like I said, you know, for me, I'm already, you know, my resolution started June 2023. So I'm just over 6 months through my shit, you know. Don't let all the memes be about you. You know, I keep seeing every day, oh, don't worry, just hold out till February. The gyms will filter out all the losers, you know, shit like that. Fuck that. Hell no. You know, I want that bitch crowded, fucking 12 months round. You know, nothing would make me happier. Arguably, I would love to have an empty gym, selfishly, but you know, I think it's great. I think it's great seeing people in there putting in work, bettering themselves, getting a little bit healthier. You know, that's at the end of the day, I think at a certain point, you know, you have to start putting the selfishness away and start trying to realize that if we're going to be part of like a better world, better society, you know, at a certain point that has to be because we give some sort of a fuck about that better world or better society, you know. Not to get super philosophical or nothing, but you know, if you can't claim to be for your community if you're not actively, you know, actively or passively excited or positive or, you know, inspired / inspiring to those in your community that are building, that are they've got the foundation, or I mean, fuck, they might be ripping out the foundation and rebuilding, you know what I mean? But you know, you can't get a better community, a better society, a better fucking house, you know, if all you're doing is, you know, oh goddamn, it's that dude or that chick, or why are they even bother? Why are they here? Let's gossip. Let's talk crap on people. You know, nothing's ever going to be better that way. Come on, you know. So, yeah, focus on bettering yourself. Be excited for, happy for people that are bettering themselves. You know, if there's things you can do to help other people be excited or inspired to continue to better themselves, you know, just like we talked about already, if you're gonna work on yourself physically, work on yourself, period. You know, mentally, you know, some of y'all, if it applies to you, spiritually, you know, I'm not a huge religion guy, you know, but man, you know, yeah, so get in here and get the sweat in.